Going up, up, don't look down. No gravity when you're with me, light years from home.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and into my home. So today we're going to continue on preparing my kitchen for the holidays. We're going to step here into the pantry where we're going to take everything off the shelves. I'm going to make a list of things that I need to refill and restock the pantry. And we're going to get the shelves cleaned off and reorganized. And then we're going to deep dive into my refrigerator. I'm going to take out all the shelves. I want to give everything a very good scrubbing, remove all the products that I'm no longer using, and then I will have some space to put all of the products that I'm going to need for the holidays. Before we get started, I wanted to give you a little update on Jenny. Right before we left on the cruise, we lost Jenny. I prayed that God would take her peacefully and quietly, and that is in fact what he did. She went peacefully and quietly. And even though my heart is grieving, I know that she's in a better place now. But now I want to introduce you to our two new kitties. Right here is Hank and Hawkins. This one is Hank, and this one right here is Hawkins. Oh yes, they are so precious. They're ragdoll kitties, and we just could not love them anymore. Sure, we miss Jenny very, very much, but I know that she would be pleased with these kitties, and she knows that we have a place in our hearts for them, and we just love them. Okay, let's go ahead and dive right into this refrigerator. Now, typically, I will do one shelf at a time. When I get here in the refrigerator and I'm cleaning it out, I'll do one shelf at a time. But because the holidays is coming up, I want to do a very deep clean in here. So I'm going to be taking out all the shelves, all the drawers, all the things. I'm giving everything a very good scrubbing. Yep, that's what I said, scrubbing. I don't know if that's a word I made up, but it's a word I say all the time, and I often get comments on it. So we're going to give the inside of this refrigerator a very good scrubbing. I'm also going to get in here and I'm going to take out the things that are outdated. Look at all those expiration dates again, which is very tiring on the old eyes, but I'm going to be doing that. And I'm just going to be freeing up space and getting everything ready for when we start bringing in the food for the holidays. We do lots of baking and cooking in here. I've already told you guys that I have a large family, and we have a large family Christmas party here every year. And I'm going to need all the available space. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out the trash can. That way I can just easily throw out the things that I don't need. And also, I'm going to be rearranging the shelves in the refrigerator just to better suit some of the larger items that we bring in, like maybe a turkey or things like that. I need to move around those shelves and, you know, see what I can configure in there.
Don't look down.
Last week I neglected to wear these gloves. I showed you over there on the video that I really needed the gloves and forgot to put them on. Today I'm not going to forget to put them on. And the gloves also help me to be able to hold on to this glass. Things aren't as slippery when you have the gloves on, so that's a good thing about it, especially when you're messing with the soap and things like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to give everything a good scrubbing. I'm even going to take the brush and get in the crevices because we had some milk spill out inside the refrigerator. I had to put it on its side because I didn't have a tall enough space to put it, which I'm going to be able to fix that today by rearranging the shelves. I've never rearranged the shelves before. I've just put them in the way that looked right to me. And as you can tell, I'm taking off all the little blue stickers on the refrigerator. I've lived in the house since 2019, so I've had the refrigerator for quite some time. Did I get it in? No, I got the refrigerator probably in, I'm going to say maybe 22. So the last 2 years I've had the refrigerator. I haven't taken off all those blue stickers. I don't take the shelves out, so I didn't see that they had the blue stickers on the back. They're hidden underneath the, you know, where, I don't know, you know what I'm talking about. They're hidden. And you're going to see there's some in the refrigerator too. And I got to get those stickers out. So, okay, let's get in here. We're going to use the scrub brush, and I'm going to get in all the crevices and get everything else. This thing is going to be sparkling clean when I'm done.
Always by your side. I'll be always by your side. Through shifting skies and endless miles, I walk with you through every trial. And it's enough, I gotta say, it's super important, we all need a place where we can just check in, kick back, unwind, surrounded by widows that feel like mine. These are the people sharing you up. Tears for tears when things go wrong. Oh, a friendly show, yeah, they got your back. With a love like that, there's nothing you lack. It's more than just being there, it's a vibe. Heart to heart moments always by your side. I'll be always by your side. Shifting skies and endless miles, I walk with you through every trial. Always by your side. Always by your Hey, listen up, I gotta say, what's more important than finding a way? Oh, check in, kick back, unwind together. We'll be those who make it all better. These are the people sharing you on. Tears for tears when road is rough. Every trial of the time you face, know that love will lift you to a higher place. We dream, we laugh, we ride the highs. Sunflowers blooming under open skies. It's more than just being there, it's a vibe. Heart to heart moments feel always by your side. I'll be always by your side.
One of the features of this GE Cafe Series refrigerator is that back wall, that it lights up like that, which is very nice when you open up your refrigerator and the light shines all over everything. There's no dark spaces in the back. However, it does make it more difficult to film because the camera reads that there's a lot of light coming into it, so it makes everything else dark. But I think I got it pretty good here without blowing out the inside of the refrigerator, so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take out the containers on the side, and we're going to get those washed up, and then we're going to get everything put back together. This is going to feel so nice and fresh and great for the holidays. Now, I'm not going to do the freezer. I really don't have a lot going on in the freezer that I feel like I need to do it, but I will do that second drawer, which is where we keep a lot of our cheeses, and we keep the kids' snacks. Any of their cold snacks goes in there. So I'm going to get that cleaned out as well. I've never removed the top shelf with the glass in it. I've never removed it off of here, so I didn't even know that this blue tape was under there. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off, but you're going to see I'm having issues with this one. The tape is actually wrapped around the piece of plastic before they screwed it in, so there's a piece that's behind it. So when I go to rip it, it's just, you know, coming apart like that. But that's okay. I get off as much as I can, even with using a knife, and then realize, Michelle, it's no big deal. The shelf is going to cover it, and you'll see that here in just a second. Chasing all the starlight, chasing what feels right. So baby, hold on tight. We're living for the highlights, like it's our life. Trying to imagine the best configuration you know, for the shelves. And I'm just going to keep trying it out. Of course, it can be changed, you know, right before. Let's say I get a turkey and I need it to be larger somewhere. I can just move the shelves around. These are super easy to move. I like that there's 4 of them instead of one long one. You know, so instead of 2 long glass shelves, there's actually 4 individual ones. That way I can move them any which way that I want. I've just never done that. I didn't even think to do that. I've just always had it in a line and just kept it that way. But I do like the way that it ended up turning out. I can fit the milk up there at the top. If I need to rise that shelf up one more, I can, and there'll still be plenty of room for a small gallon, not gallon, but what are those, half-gallon pints, I don't know, of milk. So it'll still fit up there, as well as our creamers and things like that. I don't have a whole lot of things that I need to put in the refrigerator. I did get rid of most of what was in here. It was time to get rid of it. And I'm just putting back the things that are not expired, obviously. And, you know, things that we can use up for the next 2 or 3 days before I have to go grocery shopping again. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put in all of the shelves and then get the condiments and things like that put in the shelves. I also am going to refill the refrigerator. I do have a new little egg container that's coming in the mail. If I get it in enough time, I will put it in this video at the end of the video. But I'm excited for that. It's going to save room in my refrigerator. Anything that I can do to save room in there is awesome. I don't like it to feel packed and, you know, all that in there, and I can't see what I need, because then I end up buying more than what I need. And you'll see that with the blueberries. I have some blueberries in a container. I washed them, stuck them in the container. Then I bought more blueberries. And then Michael went to Costco and bought more blueberries. So we are overrun with blueberries. And you'll see that in a second. I do need to take those and the ones that Michael bought, wash them up, and probably go ahead and stick them in the freezer, because he does like to make shakes in the morning, and I figure he can just throw a handful of frozen blueberries into his shakes. But you know, there's a way of being able to freeze those blueberries. You can't just wash them, put them in a Ziploc bag, and stick them in the freezer, right? Now, instead of a box of baking soda, I use this little contraption here. I've been using it for several months now. It's keeping my refrigerator nice and fresh. And it's got like a carbon filter in it and all the things. Keeps everything fresh. I will link that below for you. I'm also going to link the egg container that I hope comes in so that I can show it to you. But if not, I will link that. And I also purchased some like nylon type bags that I can keep all of my produce in. And you take them to the store and you can put your produce in it. You can see through it, so the worker that's there, you know, can read everything that's on it. They don't have to put their hands into the produce bags. They can read everything. They can scan everything. I did read the reviews, and one of the reviews was from a grocery store worker, and she said that these are the bags that they like to see come in, because you know, they can scan right through it and they're not having to dig in the bag. So I went ahead and got those, but of course I haven't gotten them in yet. If I get them in, I'll show them at the end of the video, but I'm really excited about those. Okay, so we're finishing up in the refrigerator. I'm just going to put in this last little slide in, and then here is the after. Yes, I love that. I love when everything just feels nice and fresh and everything is nice in order. Yep, this is my kind of thing. All right, so now let's get into this drawer. This is where we keep our cheeses, odds and ends, and then a lot of things for the grandkids. Everything has just gotten pooped up in here. It all needs to be reorganized. It needs to be cleaned, and it needs to be ready for the holidays. I will still keep a lot of the kids' snacks in here because they can reach it. They have a snack drawer to the right. It's the in the bank of drawers right over there to the right, the brown bank of drawers. In the center one, they have a snack drawer with all of their, you know, snacks that don't need to go in the refrigerator. And then here on this side is where I like for them to have all of their cold snacks. So that's what I'm going to be doing, just reorganizing, getting everything all tidied up. I do need to go to the grocery store, so there will be a few more things in here in the coming days. But for now, let's get it cleaned up and ready for when I bring those things home. I really, really like Dawn soap. However, it is a killer on your hands. I mean, you can imagine, because it is meant to degrease, you know, use it in your soap water. It will help degrease your dishes and all the things, but it's also going to de-oil your hands, and your hands are going to get very dry. And I've always got my hands in soap. If you know, I used to be a former hairstylist, so my hands were constantly in shampoo and all of that, and I developed a eczema type on my hands, and my right hand has become very sensitive to the water, especially if it's got a harsh soap on it. Yes, I just made a huge mess on the floor. Did you see all that water just pour on my floor? So now I'm cleaning my refrigerator and I'm cleaning my floors at the same time. Not purposefully, but it happened. So anyways, yes, so with the Dawn soap, it's great soap, but yes, it is going to dry out your hands. So if you have sensitive hands, be sure to wear gloves like I'm wearing right here.
There's light in the darkness. You just gotta give your eyes a chance to adapt. Feels like you've lost it. Just give your heart a chance to react.
I was talking about freezing blueberries, and then I just totally forgot to go back to what I was saying. So my thought is that you can't just wash blueberries, and then obviously you can't just stick them in the freezer because they're just all going to clump up. So what I like to do is I like to wash them and then lay them out so that they dry. Then I will put them on a cookie sheet with some parchment paper or wax paper, whichever one you want to use, at the bottom. And then I will just lay that sheet in my freezer. I do have a drawer, so I can just lay it right there and just allow those berries to freeze pretty much individually. Sometimes they'll clump up in 4 or 5, you know, clumps, but that's okay. You just don't want them in one solid clump, because when my husband goes to put his hand in there to get some blueberries, he's obviously not going to be very happy when he has a huge clump of blueberries. So I try to freeze them where they're going to freeze individually, or at least, you know, just in, you know, clumps of 4 or 5. So anyways, that's the trick with freezing blueberries. And I have a lot of them to freeze, so I will be doing that here in the next couple of days. I do need to get them washed first and then laid out to dry, and that takes, you know, a good, I don't know, hour or 2 to let them, you know, just sit there and dry, and then I will go and freeze them for him.
When it feels like you've lost.
So now we're getting into the pantry. I'm going to go ahead and start removing products off the shelf. I do only remove products off of one shelf at a time. And you'll see in my pantry, I keep things in containers, I keep things in baskets, and things like that, just to make this process so much easier. I'm not having to take out a bunch of bags, a bunch of boxes, and a bunch of cans, because I have everything separated in there very nicely in baskets, in containers, and then these types of containers. I will decant or debox what I have into these containers. I really only use this for certain items: cereals, rices, beans. I have one that I put pasta in, and one that has oatmeal, things like that. I will go ahead and decant or debox it and stick it into this. And then inside the pantry, you'll see that I have containers that I use to hold certain things. I keep things categorized in there. And if I need to get in there and clean it, it's so easy. As you'll see, I just pull the baskets out and then I can clean off the shelves, which typically don't get very dirty because I have everything in containers or in boxes or in baskets, things like that. And then I have all of my wet things like Worcestershire, olive oils, things like that. I have that in a container with a closed bottom. So if there's a spill, it stays contained in that container, and I don't have to, have a huge mess. It's not going to mess up my shelves. It's not going to stain my shelves. It will all be inside that container. So we'll talk about that more here in just a little bit.
Desire, 'cause it only takes a spark for a fire to start. Walk on through the wire, let me play a part. I'll never break your heart. Gone away in the dark, and feels like you were all alone. When you're down, when it feels like you've lost it, and you were all alone. All it takes to break through the dark. Come away. All it takes is a spark. I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you.
Besides the cans that are on the risers and my supplements, I keep everything else in a container. I even have some of those supplements in a container, but I keep everything in a container. I don't like a lot of visual clutter. I do like to see what I have and know what I have, but I don't like a lot of the color that's in there that causes a lot of chaos, and it just makes everything look messy. So I do try to decant when I can, or else I'll put it into a basket or something like that. And again, it just makes it so much simpler to clean out your pantry and get it done quickly.
What's the angle? I'm not playing that game. It's the same business with a different name. Who's the target?
These cereal containers I bought from Amazon. This thing can hold a whole bag of cereal in it. There's nothing worse than when you're pouring cereal into a container and then you're having to save half of the bag to refill the container. To me, that just defeats the purpose. It's just taking up more room doing that. So I got containers that will refill a large size of cereal. So that's very nice. And then these containers is where I keep my potatoes and my onions. Now these white containers, everything got kind of mixed up in here. Grandkids, things like that, things get thrown in there. So I'm going to go ahead and take these out. I want to clean the shelf underneath, but as you can see, it does not get very dirty because I have the containers that holds everything. But I am going to go ahead and just give them a quick wipe down. Then we'll get into those containers and get everything organized. Now, if you have a pantry that you need to get organized and you need some ideas, I have a great video for you. It's actually a playlist of videos where I went over to each of my daughter's houses and we redid their pantries. We took everything out, we organized, we cleaned. We did it the way they like to do it, not necessarily the way that I like to do it. I let them do it the way that they want to do it. I filmed it. And I helped them, of course, of whatever they needed me to do. I assisted them in whatever they needed me to do. These are 3 very different types of pantries. Well, 4, because I also do mine in there as well. But my daughter Bethany's pantry, she has more of a country style pantry, not one that you walk into. Then my daughter Lauren has a very large pantry. And we redid hers. And then my daughter Madeline has it's a walk-in pantry, but she's the chef of our family. So her pantry holds a lot of things, or needs to hold a lot of things, because she loves to cook. She loves all that stuff, and she does it every single night. So she has a lot of products, and we get in there and we deep dive in there and we get that pantry nice and clean and very organized, just the way that she needs it. And I really think that you'll like those videos. And I'm gonna go ahead and put it at the end of this video. It will be in a playlist so that you can watch one after another, and you can get all the ideas that you need for reorganizing, cleaning, restocking. It's got lots of tips and tricks in that video, and or in those set of videos, and I really think that you're going to enjoy that.
You can't sell me anything. No thanks, I'll pass. I don't want any of that. I'll just take my chances.
As I go through these baskets, I have this extra one right here, and I'm thinking, what do I usually have in this basket? I know that I need to buy groceries, but something's going on here. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just go into this basket, and I realize that that is my baking basket. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe some of this stuff goes over here. So then I take it and I put it into the pantry, and I realize, oh, I know what it is. One of those baskets is where I keep any bread products, tortillas, things like that. I'll keep it in that basket. However, we haven't had any bread products because Bethany has been making us sourdough bread. And I keep it on the counter. You want to be sure that you use it up quickly because there's no preservatives and stuff in it. And so I keep it on the counter, and oh my goodness, is that stuff delicious. So I haven't been buying bread, but I did end up cleaning out that basket, you know, just in case if we have some breads or some tortillas and things like that, I will have that basket available for that. Now here soon, I would like to get more of these risers. I probably will not be able to find the same risers. That's why you see I've got these ones right here come as a pair, and then there's one to the right, and they don't line up. I would like to have all the way across the whole shelf, all of them, you know, and it completely lines up. So I will be doing that here in the near future. We don't buy a lot of canned products. The products that we do get are like beans, and my husband likes the soups and, you know, things like that. I don't have a whole lot of canned products, but I would like this to look a little more streamlined, and just put some, you know, a whole row of these risers that all line up. And I'm thinking that I might go bamboo because I do have the bamboo color baskets. So I might go bamboo here. But if I can't find something bamboo, then I'll definitely go white. I just need them to be longer and just make more sense. Now these right here go in these baskets. They're my powders and, you know, the breadcrumbs, the Lipton soup mix, the dry one that you put in meatloaf and stuff like that, I keep that in that basket. So now I'm just going to organize this mismatched riser over here. And when I put things on these risers, I like it to make sense. So if my husband were to call me from the pantry, which he does quite often, to ask me a question, where is this? I can immediately know exactly where it's at. I can tell him where to find it, which typically, honestly, what I tell him is, honey, can you look before you ask? Because he tends to walk in there and just ask me, hey, where's this? Hey, where's that? You know, if he doesn't immediately see it. So in that case, I will know where everything's at. But I am trying to train him to please look before you ask me. Do y'all have that problem with your husbands? If not your husbands, I know your kids are asking it, right? So anyways, I like to have everything nice and organized in here, and I just know where everything is at, and it all completely makes sense to me. Okay, so we have one more shelf to go, and then we will do the things that are down here on the floor. Again, I have the majority of these things in baskets for a very good reason, but things do get thrown into the pantry, and I have no control over that. Did you see that little kitty run out of the pantry? They stay right underneath my feet. They say little ragdoll kitties are like puppies, and they like to be with you at all times, and they do. They're constantly underneath my feet, or in my lap, or in my hair sitting on the back of the couch. We just love those kitties so much. They have brought so much joy into our lives after losing Jenny, which is very upsetting for us. But anyways, all right, so let's get these baskets cleaned out. I think I got these from Home Goods. I'm pretty sure it was Home Goods or something like that. TJ Maxx. TJ Maxx. Actually, that is a cartoon that my grandkids watch. Anyways, TJ Maxx. I may have gotten it from there as well. So I'm going to go through here, and I'm just going to throw out all the things that is expired, or I just know we're not going to eat. And these pickles right here, my granddaughter came from Alaska last Christmas, and she got 2 of those pickles. And we're not eating them, so I'm getting rid of them. And in these baskets is where we keep chips and snacks and chocolates and a lot of nuts. We have a lot of nuts. How about those right there? You know, when your grandkids go to the public schools and you have to buy their, for their some fundraisers, we have so many grandkids that we end up with all these little chocolates. And in fact, I got 2 more at my front doorstep just the other day. So I've got even more of those. But one of these baskets is going to end up being pretty much empty because we haven't been eating chips, and I haven't bought any more chips, so I'm just going to leave it empty. I just put my husband's cream of wheat in there and called it a day. And now here on this side is where I keep, you know, all of my little plastic containers that go in the refrigerator. They have like little vents on them. I'll put them down in the links for you. They're great little containers that I like them because they have the vents on them. And I'm just going to give everything a good wipe down, and then let's put everything back, get it nice and orderly. I'm going to try to compact it a little bit because I can use that extra space for the holidays. We do a lot of cooking and baking, and I can, you know, have some free space to put that stuff.
It's about time for another lecture. You do it too, if you knew what's good for you. Future minded.
Now in these 3 baskets right here, by the way, I got all of these baskets from Target. But in these baskets is where I keep all of our plastic plates, plastic cups, plastic bowls. It's what we use out by the pool during the summer, but obviously we're not having to use those right now, so I'm just going to put everything back into this container. The one on the right is where we keep our paper goods, our plastic forks and knives, things like that. So that goes there in the right. Now these right here are my food saver bags. My son got me a food saver, and these are extra bags that I purchased. So I'm going to go ahead and just put it in this bottom one, And then this one right here has just got some extra things in it, like some extra flour, not that one, but some extra almond flour. My daughter brings some snacks and things like that over here that she and the girls and the grandson likes to eat. So I keep it down here in this basket for her. And I'm just, you know, checking the expiration dates, all the things, and getting rid of what we don't need, and putting everything back in there that we do need. And then all I have to do is go over to the other side, which is, you know, just to the right of me, and get the appliances and take those out so that I can vacuum up the floor.
Quit fighting, tell me what would happen then. No thanks, I'll pass. I don't want any of that. I'll just take my chances. No thanks, not now. I made it this far somehow. I'll just take my chances. I don't wanna put a penny in your machine. I don't wanna put a penny in your machine. This satisfaction guaranteed.
Okay, just in time to feed these little kitties. So this is the pantry, the after of the pantry. And I want you to remember that the way to make this easy is to get yourself these baskets. That way you can pull things in and out easily. If there's any drips and spills, it will be inside these baskets. Again, I got these ones from Home Goods. I'm pretty sure those are from Home Goods too. All these containers right here, I will link for you. It holds a whole thing of cereal. And then all of these I got from Home Goods or from TJ Maxx. All those places, get yourself some good containers to hold all of your things. You know, that way you don't have a bunch of bags and boxes in your pantry. And over here on the risers, you can see everything that you've got because everything is evenly spaced going up. Stair-stepped up, I guess is what you would call it. So I like to have those. And then these containers right here I got from IKEA. I like these because they're solid. Any of these things spill in here, it will quickly catch it. You may have noticed that I didn't clean underneath these. They're heavy. I only clean them once a year, typically around spring. But I need to get to feeding these kittens, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to clean up all of this mess. I'm probably going to get Michael's help because I've been working all day. But this little kitty right here, this one's Hanky, and he wants something to eat. Hank, are you ready for dinner, honey? Are you ready for dinner, my love? He's a little spunky thing, huh? Look at that little tail. It's all fluffy and furry. Then his brother right here, Hawkins. Look at him. Hawkins, are you hungry? You ready for some dinner, buddy? All right. Okay, so the cats are fed, and while they're eating, I'm going to go ahead and throw away all this trash. Then I'll have Michael take everything to the garage and put it in the main trash can. So I hope that you guys like this video. If you did, would you please give me a big thumbs up? And if you haven't already subscribed, I hope that you'll click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you get reminded every time I post a new video. And please remember to go and watch these videos of me over at my daughter's houses redoing their pantries. I'd love to see you there. And don't forget to leave me a comment on this video and over on those videos too. I'll see you again in next Sunday's video. Until then, stay blessed, my friends.